Welcome back. In today's episode, we're doing the timing belt water pump on the camper. Let's get on, I'll show you what's going on. As I said in the intro, today we're going to be doing the timing belt and the water pump on the camper. Now, although this looks like an old water pump, it's because it is. This is the water pump off it. I've already done the job. Past Tony done, present Tony is solid and did the job for him. So yeah, basically I went edit the video last night and I realised that I didn't have any kind of intro or anything like that. So this is what I'm just doing now, just to get on. So yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to, obviously with the age of these vans now, they're getting on to the point now where your average DIY mechanic is probably going to tackle these themselves. It's really not a hard job, I'll be honest. I did the job, including filming, I did the job over 2 nights, literally averaging maybe 2 hours a night. It was getting dark as well while I was doing it, as you'll see in the video. It's not a bad job. So yeah, maybe it's a 3 hour job, give or take. I mean, if you cracked at it on a weekend, you could easily do it in 3 hours in a one sitting. It's worth doing because obviously if the time belt ever snaps, I don't know if anybody's ever had time belt snap on them. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if these are an interference engine or not, but if the time belt snaps, you've got to think the piston's coming up at a rate of super fast as you're driving, and your valves are obviously opening, yeah, like that. And if they go out of time, they clatter together, bend your valves, that's it, head off. Let's face it, for the age of these vans, quite a lot of them, that might be the death. They might go straight to the scrapyard at that point, you know, because then you're looking at, effectively, it's probably going to work out cheaper to put a replacement engine in. So, as well as doing the timing belt, for those of you that seen the video on my wife's Scirocco, would have seen that the water pump, so the water pump obviously is affected by the timing belt. It's not timed, but it is driven by it. So if that bearing gives up on there, one, not only will it leak, but two, it could let the timing belt slip, cause you the same problem as that breaking. Now, because I got the van, it's a very unknown quantity in the van, on account of the fact that I don't know how the van's been maintained or looked after. I'm figuring I want to do it anyway. It's the first thing I normally do when I get a vehicle anyway, is change time belt if I can. And the water pump, just purely to, it gives us a date, right? I know it was done then, I know in 2-3 years time or however many thousand miles time, I'll just do it again. It's not a bad job, as I say. So yeah, so we'll just jump straight into it and watch the video. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Yes. So as you can imagine, I'm already fighting the light because the winter nights are setting in. But what we're going to do first of all is whip the cover off. Now this cover looks like it comes apart in 2 halves. I might be wrong, but effectively, hold on, we'll turn the torch down a little bit so it's not quite as in your face. There, so I would imagine it's going to be this 10mm out. Probably going to be some, there's going to be more others. There's another, I can see another one down there. Basically, I'm going to keep taking them off until I get this cover off, and then we'll see where we go. We might at some point need to actually support the engine and take this mount off yet. I'm really not too sure. Never done one of these before, but we'll just get cracked on and see what happens. We'll get on with it. As with everything else, it's not just a case of doing the timing belt. It's the things you've got to take off to get access to the timing belt is always the problem. So I'll try and do this one-handed. It's a bit tricky. So I've had to split this pipe here, pull that pipe off there, obviously, which that pipe was the one that went on there. Pulled that off and pushed that out of the way. Not a problem about losing all the coolant. I'll be honest, it was just full of water anyway. I'm pleased I caught that because that could have been quite a disaster over the winter. Pulled that off, not a problem. I'm doing the water pump anyway, so the black and white of it is that would have been out. The other thing I took off, which wouldn't be necessary, but it was just to make my life a bit easier, was I've removed the EGR valve from here. 2 bolts and a clip on this and a clip on here. There's the clips there. I've just removed that, as I say. I'm replacing it anyway, so it was easier for me to do this. You don't necessarily need to do it, just I've found it just a little bit easier to get in and out with it, purely to pull this pipe out the way more than anything else. Right, other than that, the only other thing that I've done, try and get down here and show you what's happening. I can't find it. Anyway, oh, there, you had it. It's gone. Right. So I've binned the pin idea. I've had a look. I put a picture up here of the top picture, which looks like a D-shaped pin that I need. I don't have a pin for it. I'm not particularly worried. It's not a complicated engine. You only got reline 3 pulleys, so as long as you mark them, you can see there's a mark there. See, that one's got a mark on there, so that one there's the fuel pump. That one there's the crank. That one there doesn't matter because it's a water pump. Tensioner, tensioner. The only other one that we've got, is that one there, which is the cam. So basically the whole engine now is in a position where I can pretty much flip everything off, take the tension, loosen the tensioner off and let the belt out, and then take it off. And what I want to get done tonight, because as I say, we're fighting the light a lot. Well, we lost the fight against the light, to be fair. What I want to get done tonight is actually get the water pump out, which is only another 4 or 5 bolts once the tensioner and the belt itself's actually off. So that's where we'll go. So I'll check in with you once that's done. Right, and there we have it. That's the belt off. What I'll do is, without electrocuting myself, the big torch has gone flat, the one I was using. What I'll do is tomorrow, again when I've got a bit of light, I'll support the engine and just swap these 2 belts over. As I say, I think the belt has been very recently done from the look of it, but just for my own peace of mind, and I'll show you for why in a second, doing it again. So it's the water pump I took out here. It doesn't look like to me like the water pump's been changed, so I'm wondering whether they've just put a belt kit on, which is quite common. You know, it's a cheaper alternative. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Hold on, let's have a look here. I'm not saying it's right or wrong to do it. Personally, if I was going to do it, I would do the water pump as well. I have had a water pump fail before, and it knocked timing out, stopped the car from starting. It was a whole nightmare. Luckily, it didn't actually impact, but this is the water pump. As I say, I believe this could be the not changed when the time belt was last done, but when you turn it, I mean, there's no play in it, but I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera. So that doesn't sound too bad. That's normally what I would kind of expect a water pump to sound like. However, when you take the new water pump and spin it, there's no noise. So yeah, so I'm pleased I'm changing that. As I say, it was a good job I did it anyway, purely because there was no coolant in. Literally, it was just pure water in there. And obviously we're coming up winter time now. Hold on 2 seconds, I'll get you put right again. Yeah, I'll do that. So yeah, it's coming up winter time now, so as you can see, it's worth doing it. But as I say, it was just pure water that came out of it. So obviously when I do it, I'll give it a flush through, put some coolant back in again, we'll all be good. I'm going to wrap it up there. 2 reasons. One, my torch has gone completely flat because I have one good torch. Decent torch, sorry. Word of warning, never buy anything from eBay. I got this from eBay. I use it now as my welding torch. It lasts about 10 minutes. Gives you no warning it's going to go off. It just gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and then stops. Literally an extra 10 or more. Do you know what I mean? You get that. And I mean, they're super bright and they last twice as long. And they give you a warning when they're about to go off. So anyway, this is where we're at the minute currently. Covers off. Hold on. Let's see if I can... Right, so this is where we're at the minute. Covers off. I might give that a clean up before I put it back on. It doesn't do any harm to give things a little wipe over. The alternator belt is off. The time belt's off, obviously that's still on the car. The water pump is off. So we're good to go. So we're effectively halfway through the job now. As I say, tomorrow what we'll do is we'll bolt the new water pump in. We'll pop the engine mounting off. We'll lash the new belt on complete with, because this is the whole purpose why you get a kit, because it comes with, it doesn't just come with the belt, but it comes with the pulleys and things that you need as well. So we'll do a full change on that. Also, I've got a nice little sticker there. I know we all get excited about stickers, but yeah, effectively I can mark on the miles. I can mark on the miles and even the part number as well, so that'll be handy. So we'll get that stuck on as well. Yeah, we'll get that done tomorrow and we'll take it from there and we'll see how we get on. If you look, this mark's lined up, that mark there's lined up, and that mark there's lined up as well. So what we did was, I basically kept the two in line, put the belt on, because this was the only pulley that was actually sprung, because obviously the cam will want to flick it one way or the other, because it doesn't like sitting on top of the lobe of the cam. Just put the spanner on there, basically set that to these marks lined up, and then slip the belt over. I've still got the belt of tension, because the belt is in tension there, but I'll quickly tension it, and then that's the belt on. We'll refit the covers and top it up with coolant, I suppose, and then we're good to go. And there we have it, running sweet as a nut. Brand new HDI valve on. Timing belt's all done, so I'm confident about that. Let's see, that's just still a bit smoky, like I say, but 137,000 miles, you know. Cheers what cheers. However, that's it. We're just going to run it up temperature now, get it nice and hot, and then we'll drop the engine oil. We'll go from there. And there we'll have it. It's done. It's running. Crap in the face. Injectors are done, time belt's done, water pump's done. I have done the engine oil and filter, and I repaired the sump plug as well, because the sump plug had a leak on it. But there we are, that's it. Happy as Larry, that's it, we're done with the engine now. All that's left to do is give it a proper road test. Other than that, in the next video, we will get started on the brakes. And that's it, that's all we've got time for on this one. Been a bit of a slog. These videos have been a bit all over the place. Unfortunately, I've been trying to work around the weather, because when the weather's not favourable, then it's not, you know, it's not a good time to be working outdoors. Unfortunately, the van does not fit inside my unit, otherwise I would have been able to get a whole lot more done. So where have we gone up till now? So we've get in the van, give the van a good clean, it's polished, it's got a shine on it, the engine work's all done now. I'm confident that the engine is safe to use, we'll say. I'm not saying there's not going to be any other little problems and issues that are going to pop up, but I would say it is safe to use. Time belt's been done, oil and filter's been done. Hopefully, touch wood, I'll find out in the morning if I've stopped the oil leak, but I'm pretty confident that I have already. Yeah, so next of all, we've got the brakes. Now, next episode will be a full brake overhaul, but I don't know how much that I will actually get done, because I do want the van on the road this time next week. Actually, just a little bit over. I think next Tuesday, I think, is the 1st. I do want the van on the road for then. Obviously, I don't want to be at the point where I'm taxing and insuring the van and it's still up on axle stands, because I'm still busy doing the brakes. But next episode, what we've got is we've got the brake overhaul. So we'll be pulling the calipers off, stripping the calipers down, fitting new pistons, seals, dust seals, sliders, and new bolts, and new bleed nipples as well, which is, believe it or not, was more expensive than you thought it was going to be. However, we'll do that in the next episode. If you've hung on this long, thank you very much for watching. We'd just like to thank you all. If you would take 2 minutes out and hit that subscribe button, it would be very much appreciated. Doesn't cost you anything. You don't get bombarded with spam, as I found out this week. Somebody says, oh, I'm not subscribed to your channel because I didn't want bombarded with loads of spam. You don't get bombarded with loads of spam. I would appreciate if you did click the blue bell. You get a notification every time I release a new video, but if you don't want to, it doesn't matter. Subscription will be more than enough. I will be eternally thankful to you for doing that. Also, massive shout out to one of my bigger fans, Chris. Thanks for watching. I know you do Gina's head in when you watch these because she hates the sound of my voice, but thank you for watching. Cheers, bud. Yeah, other than that, again, thank you everybody else for watching, and we will see you next time. Cheers.